shaking, AC.
I got in trouble today at my office.
What?
Because my voice carries and I'm too loud.
Over.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you please be quiet though? Because I'm gonna get kicked out.
Okay. I'm sorry. I will whisper into the microphone.
So for this rant, we're gonna have to talk a little quieter.
Okay. We'll talk really quiet. I will increase the volume in post-production.
Okay, good idea. Okay, so you can hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just dandy.
Okay, so here's the thing. I know that we're recording this. We're pre-ranting because by the time this goes out, it's going to be probably 2 weeks from this time. But cheers to Springboard, which was today and yesterday.
Yes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That was awesome. It was virtual. It was different than normally, right? I mean, it was shorter, but they jammed a lot of content. There was a lot of people there, and there were these mentor pods too.
Yeah. Let's talk about the mentor pods in one sec. I do want to, just shout out to Lane and Brad for bringing people together. You know, to see like 170 people on the Zoom call, and I have to shout out to you for that crazy awesome video that you created for Lane and then for everybody, and that everybody submitted with the t-shirt thing. I only got my t-shirt after the fact, but that's okay because I used one of my older ones. But
oh, cool! I don't think I've received mine yet. I gotta go to one of my mailing addresses or PO boxes and see which one I gave them.
There you go. Well, you've seen them in the videos, but anyway, my shirt. So so I think good for them for bringing everybody together. It's not easy and it's a lot. It's just so much work. So looking forward to getting back in person hopefully next year. But in the meantime, I thought the mentor pods were cool.
What was like the most interesting question that you were asked in these mentor pods?
That's a great question. I think my favorite question was because I hear it a lot.
Yep.
Now this was an emerging franchisor who, or maybe like almost re-emerging. Don't they say that on the shirt? Like, emerging and you can't see it. Re-emerging.
Yeah.
Because anyway, the question that I really liked was, what, and I won't name the brand, but what do you do about legacy franchisees who have kind of like stopped engaging, stopped growing their business and all that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hear that all the time. And I saw it live and in person at M&M meat shops, when I was working with these legacy franchisees, and they're special and they're important, and especially if they bought in early, they're important for the brand. They got you going. So that's the question I got. And when I hear that, I guess I'm going to answer this. We've got to give some content. People apparently watch these. I've been finding out people actually do watch these rants.
It's not funny. Why would people watch us?
It's just water. But anyway.
Water.
You'll never know.
From a grape.
Yeah. Shh. Okay. Shh. I'm going to get kicked out again. Okay. So, so when I hear that though, I think, when's the last time you went and sat down with one of those franchisees one-on-one, and maybe this day and age, maybe you can't do it in person, but sat down with them on Zoom or whatever. Hey, Bill, go get a rye. I'm going to get a glass of wine. Let's chat. How are you? And hey, how do you feel about things? Like, have a transparent conversation saying, what were your original goals when you got into this? Your vision, are you still happy being here? Because you're not stuck. We can help you if you're not. If this, maybe your goal was 10 years and you're at 6 years and you're like, I'm kind of losing interest. Nothing wrong with that. We can help you potentially sell the franchise and, move you on to something that makes you happier.
Yeah, I think you gave me some advice on this a while back, is that every franchisee should have one of three things that they're doing: grow, close, or sell. GCS, right? And there's nothing wrong with selling it or closing it. It's not for everyone. But like, if you're not selling or closing, you've got to be growing it, right? There's no space for sort of passive aggression or
stagnating.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
right.
Before we go any further, I have to fess up. I think you know this, maybe you don't know this, but I learned that from rockstar franchisors Brian and Luke Baisley of Driver's Seat. So I
Awesome.
can't take the credit
Local
for
guys,
that.
just right down the street from me.
I know, we're all from the same hometown.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, so shout out to Brian and Luke. I love that. Yeah, grow, closer, sell, and I talked about that actually on the pod today, the Mentor Pod, because I think it's really cool to, and we might have ranted about this before, but tell them even when you bring them into the system, like you've got a few new franchisees coming in, have those conversations up front.
Yeah.
That while you're here, every now and then we're going to kind of tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, which one are you? Like, are you growing? Because if you're not growing, we're going to talk to you about, do you start growing or you sell, or worst case scenario, you close.
Yeah. It's like succession planning, right? Paul Pickett talks about that. Maybe you gift it to somebody else. Maybe you renew the agreement if you're choosing the grow path, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I think that's, really important to remember that as a franchisor, that, wait a minute, like, go have that conversation. And it doesn't need to be like this big, scary, awkward conversation. It's like, just checking in on you. Like, you're my friend.
yeah.
The other thing though, is I think there's an opportunity there to, if they do realize that, yeah, I want to stick around, I'm happy here, but what do you mean I'm not, if they're defensive in any way or whatever, another approach would be to, engage them with the newer franchisees and set up some kind of a mentor program, just like we did at Springboard.
That's so important, because you might have franchisees that are making money and are just happy making money and want to be sort of passive and absent. They could say, what's the problem, franchisor? You're getting here. We're making you successful. What else you want from us?
Well, on the team, Keith Levinson just said this the other day that, some franchisees are going to be happy making, working 40 hours, making, just a smaller amount, whatever that salary is. And it's meeting their expectations, but it's not meeting the franchisor's expectations.
Right.
So that's another thing. You got to have that conversation. And if they're tying up a market and they're just kind of ho-hum about it, then, you might want to try and see, like, hey, would you be willing to be a mentor for one of our newer franchisees? And maybe by doing that, when you put people in a leadership position, they tend to step up, because now they're like, oh yeah, I guess I gotta act like a leader, and I gotta do the things that I should be doing. So those are a few things that we talked about on the Mentor Pod that I thought, were good reminders for people, mentor programs and that sort of thing.
That can be also so good for the brand. You know how you always talk about concentric growth and how you want location sponsored by water from a grape.
Well, sponsored by Springboard.
Yes,
water from grape. That was good. Sorry.
So we talk about concentric growth, right? And how when you're close and you're contributing to the brand fund, there's more resources. That same thing can happen when there's veteran franchisees. When they contribute to growing the younger ones, the brand spreads and they could become more profitable if there's room within their P&L for that. Maybe they have another opportunity to open a second or third one, or just own it,
Yeah. The whole point is, I think, getting in there and finding out and having proper like not proper, but, casual conversations, figure out what's going on.
I like casual conversations. That's what we do. Okay.
Yeah, we do. When do we do casual conversations?
Like this rant, this is casual.
Right. This is casual.
Good.
Here you go. Okay. So yeah, shout out to the Springboard gang, and not a shout out to whoever complained in my office that I'm too loud.
We're going to bust some kneecaps. I'm telling you, AC. Nobody can silence you.
No, I'm really bummed. Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Okay.
Really? Like, this, I can't do this every day. I'm going to
Looks like we're going to have to rent out a studio.
Yeah, exactly. With all those people that listen to our rants. Okay, we better count this down. Ready?
Yep.
3,
2, 1. Go be awesome.